Have you ever set an intention to manifest something, and then in the process of manifesting that thing, you experience fear or a negative emotion, or something comes up in your life where you're a little bit worried that you're having these thoughts or having these emotions because you might be thinking, oh, this is going against the manifestation. I shouldn't be focusing on this. I need to be focusing on what I want, not what I don't want. And then so you're scared. And not only are you scared, you're scared of the fact that you're scared because you're scared of the fact that you have these thoughts that you think you shouldn't be thinking because they're going against your manifestation. Have you ever had that before? Have you ever set an intention to manifest something, not feel the way you think you should be feeling and know you should be feeling to manifest what you want, and then resist the fact that you have those emotions, and that creates more negative emotions, and now you're stuck in a cycle where you're not feeling good and you don't know how to get out of this rut because you know that focusing on what you want and feeling good is what helps you manifest. We're going to talk about in this video exactly how to overcome this, how to overcome this resistance to resistance, which my claim is that this is blocking your manifestations, how to step into a higher vibrational frequency that's going to allow you to raise your emotional state, get into a space of acceptance and detachment, and help you manifest what you want in a much easier way and a much faster way, and in a way that's going to allow the manifestation to come to you in almost in a magical way. So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video, is how to deal with this issue that I just shared with you. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. So I'm going to talk about in this video why negative emotions are not blocking you from manifesting. Why negativity and fearful thoughts and fear, contrary to what maybe you've learned, is not stopping you from manifesting. It's like, wait, what? Yeah, negative emotions are not stopping you from manifesting. Anger is not stopping you from manifesting. Fearful thoughts are not stopping you from manifesting. Francis, but aren't I supposed to focus on what I want, not what I don't want? And by being in negative emotions and being in a vibrational frequency of fear, am I not like energy attracts like energy? Francis, if I'm feeling this resistance, aren't I going to manifest these things? That is true. That is true. I'm not denying that. But I'm here to give you in this video a powerful truth that's going to free you and teach you how to manifest even with any emotion you might feel in your life. Because the truth is that when you're manifesting, you're going to sometimes, not always, but I've noticed that sometimes negative emotion and resistances are going to come up. Like I asked you that question at the beginning. Have you ever manifested something and then you have resistance? Of course, because the ego and the old shadow might bring up limitation in the process of manifestation and lead us to believe why we can't manifest things and keep us in that little comfort zone. Your higher self wants to expand, manifest more, tap into deeper states of love, and then all that resistance comes up to the surface. So the solution here, Francis, well, okay, so how do I manifest with these feelings? Like you're saying that I can do it. How is it done? Well, I want you to understand that yes, to some degree, anger is an issue. I'm not saying that it's not an issue at all. What I am saying is that the deeper problem is not necessarily the anger and the negative emotions and the guilt and the shame and the fears. It's the resistance to those things. Because what you resist actually persists. What you resist persists. What you focus on grows in your life. Energy flows where attention goes. And what you resist persists. And so what we're doing sometimes, if we're living in ego, is we are unconsciously, without realizing it, resisting anger. I'll give you an example. Anger comes up. The mind says, I shouldn't be feeling this anger because, this is stopping me from manifesting. And then you get frustrated at yourself because you feel anger. But actually, getting frustrated at the fact that you're feeling anger is creating more anger. So actually, fighting the emotion is not helping you manifest. It's lowering your frequency even more and creating even more resistance. So actually, by fighting our emotions, we are keeping ourselves at a low frequency. And the paradox and the irony of it all is that if you stop resisting resistance and you allow resistance to be there, what begins to happen is that you release the resistance, and then your frequency gets higher, and that non-resistance to what is and that detachment to the emotion helps you to manifest more, because now you're feeling how you want to feel. So do you see how, given what I just shared with you, the paradox of this whole situation is that when you're angry at yourself for getting angry, you create more anger, which creates a negative frequency, which doesn't help you manifest. If you're fighting the fact that you have fearful thoughts and that you're thinking thoughts that go against your manifestation, oh my gosh, why am I so scared of, this happening in my life? You're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so scared of this happening in my life. I shouldn't be thinking these thoughts. And then maybe it happens, and like, damn it, see, I manifested that thing. I knew it. No, you manifested that thing maybe in your life, not because you had the thought to begin with, but because you were fighting the thought saying you shouldn't have it. But the truth is that a thought is just a thought. A fearful thought that comes into your life doesn't have to manifest unless you give it attention and energy. So actually, if you have a fearful thought, what you can do is simply allow it to float by just like a cloud. Bring consciousness to the thought. Invite more spaciousness into your life. Know that you are the source of the creations in your life, and you don't have to give attention to any thought that you don't want to. So it's like, well, Francis, but I'm having a thought. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with having a fearful thought. That's not the problem. The problem is when you're resisting the thought and the resistance is feeding the energy. So it's like, Francis, well, aren't you just saying to focus on what you want? Just like we talked about, just like I learned? Not necessarily, because sometimes you can't just focus on what you want. You have to just allow that thing to be there. You have to allow that negativity to come up to the surface. You have to surrender into that negative emotion. And it's not easy to do this, but if we can muster it up within our heart and our souls to shine light and give awareness to these things that we're afraid to look at, that's what you call shadow work. And that shadow work is you cleansing the old part of your ego and you reconnecting to the source of who you truly are as a divine creator, as divine consciousness. And the more that you can tap into that space of divine consciousness and presence and knowing who you truly are and accept all negative emotion and not resist it, your frequency will get so high. First of all, you're going to have a lot of peace in your body because you're okay with feeling emotions as a human being. Surprise, surprise, you're a human being that will feel negative emotions sometimes and will have stuff come up. Surprise, I'll give you some deep wisdom in your life right now if you want to hear it. You're going to feel angry sometimes. Perhaps, unless you've become so enlightened that, the anger transmutes into light almost immediately, congrats. But sometimes I still feel anger. I'm pretty good at holding presence and holding consciousness and transmuting negative energy into positive energy, but I still experience negative emotions, okay? Surprise, surprise. And what you want to do is actually come to terms with that. Not to be pessimistic, but just have expectations about, positive things or negative things happening. But it's to have an awareness that whatever's happening in this present moment, when the mind says it shouldn't be happening, is insanity. It's insanity. If you have a preconceived notion in your mind that you're supposed to be focusing on what you want, but then you feel negative emotion and say, I shouldn't be focusing on this. I don't know. For me personally, I would drive myself absolutely nuts if I have to control every single little piece of my thinking always. Like, affirmations are great. I don't know about you, but I can't control my thoughts 24/7. The solution is to surrender. Allow the divine to manifest for you by being in complete non-resistance to this present moment. Ultimately, I would love to just teach you how to find peace and align with your source, and you would already be a manifesting master. But you want to understand that that really is the solution here, to find that peace within your heart, to find that love within your heart. If you knew how good you could feel by tapping into the source of who you are, you would be asking me, Francis, how do I manifest divine connection to source? Not how do I manifest this thing. If you knew the value of what I was saying here, you would be commenting down below. You would be messaging me every single day asking me, Francis, how do I manifest divine source consciousness and connection to that source? How do I manifest more love in my body? If you saw the value and you knew how much that was going to help you manifest, that's what you would ask me for help with in these videos. You wouldn't be asking me, how do I manifest more money? You'd be saying, how do I manifest the connection to who I am, to feel so much love in my body, to feel so detached that then I can manifest more money as a bonus. And the truth is that if you can be in that space and be in that desire to connect to your source, you're gonna have all the money you need. Not always. Sometimes people don't have the logical skill set to make money, even though they have divine consciousness source connection. But most of the time, I've actually realized that if we can connect to the source of who we are, we're gonna find a way to make money, because wealth is not necessary. Wealth is a mindset, but I would go as far as to say is that wealth is a state of consciousness. Wealth is a state of consciousness. Wealth is not necessarily a belief system, it's part of it. Wealth is how connected are you to the source of who you are. Because the source of who you are, believe me, lacks nothing. Nothing. The source of who you are has everything it needs always, and its cup is always full. It's the ego which always needs more and is separated. I need more right now because this moment's not good enough. I need the relationship, I need the money, and until I get the money, I'm not good enough. But the truth is, if you can connect to your source, then you start to manifest more, because you get a reflection of you being connected to the wealth that is within you always, that might be unconscious. So, with all that being said, my invitation to you is not to fight negative emotions, okay? So that was the core of this video, okay? We took 20 minutes and we rambled, and I gave you a powerful video with the ultimate message that I could have said in 5 seconds, but let's make it 20 minutes to sink all these insights deeper into your consciousness, because why not? The truth is, just to close this video, very simply put, you don't have to feel good always. And in fact, if you accept that you don't feel good, that acceptance of what doesn't feel good, it feels really good. It feels really bad to fight feeling bad. It feels really good to accept not feeling good. That's the paradox. Consciousness is what helps you to feel good by bringing light to the not feeling good and allowing it to be there. And my proposal and claim is that if you can get into a better relationship with yourself, with your lack, and not be in resistance to resistance, sure, maybe you react, maybe you get angry because the manifestation's not here. That's okay. That's what is in the present moment. To resist that would be insanity, literally. Here's what's happening. This shouldn't be happening right now. That's insane. It's nothing personal. I'm not personally attacking you. I'm talking about the construct of the ego. The ego is literally insanity. To fight something and say this shouldn't be here right now is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So maybe you feel anger. That's okay. Are you going to get angry at the anger? Maybe you feel guilt. Are you going to feel guilty for feeling guilt? Maybe you're feeling fear that your manifestation is not coming. That's okay. Are you going to fight that? Are you going to be scared of being scared? It's like, oh my gosh, I'm having fearful thoughts. And then you're scared because you have the fearful thoughts. That is a huge manifestation block. And so the solution here is to not be in resistance to resistance, okay? Not be in reactivity to reactivity. And what you'll begin to notice as you go deeper into this process is that you're detaching more, and the divine consciousness will help you to manifest more things into your life. Of course, the divine consciousness is ultimately you, and it's just in everything and everyone. But that divine consciousness that's within you will, first of all, you'll feel way better. You'll be at more of a peaceful state of consciousness because you're not fighting the humanness of who you are. But then that peace will shift your feelings, maybe not right away, but eventually, if you stick with this long enough, not always, but most of the time, you'll start to feel a lot better. Most of the time, your frequency gets better. That acceptance and allowing raises your state of consciousness. And then you're gonna start to see a higher probability of all the things that you wanna see happen and manifest into your life start to come into your life. The highest probability chance of you manifesting your heart's desires is from that space of actually accepting what is right here, right now. Okay, so that's all I have for this video. I know you want to know more, but we're going to close it up here. Leave a comment down below if this resonated with you and gave you some value in some way or form. Also, once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. And as always, have yourself a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.